Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, this is Davo from Esports bringing you another 1v1 StarCraft 2 cast. Awesome! Today on our Shakuras Plateau, in the bottom left hand corner, our red Protoss is RGNPerfect. Excellent. He is a player who's been known to be actually very, very good indeed, who's formerly belonged to Team Rain, and he is known to use an all-in strategy when the moment kind of favours him. So a very, very interesting player indeed. And then in the bottom right hand corner we have vVvRuFF, who is known for using some rather unorthodox builds, especially in really, really big tournaments such as MLG and stuff like that. Excellent. Cool beans. It might be worth to mention as well that both of these players are in fact American, or on the American server. There is Ruff saying Forgate is popular here, with a wink and open mouth. And RGNPerfect says sweet nothing, not even a good luck. Have fun. Exchange between the two Grandmaster level players. They are Grandmaster 50 upwards, so they're very, very high level players indeed, so it's an absolute pleasure to be able to cast these today. Excellent, and I really, really like Protoss versus Home as a matchup. I find it one of the most explosive and kind of even matchups you can actually get. You know, I mean, Zerg versus Zerg is very, very hectic indeed. Some people consider PvP to be kind of stale, and Terran versus Terran. I mean, obviously there are more matchups than this, but TVT is, well, it's alright. It can become a bit long due to siege tank placement and stuff like that, though, which can be really, really annoying. Okay, so we do have the Orbital Command coming out now for Ruff. We're along with a Marine as well, just to guard the front door. It does look like these supply depots are strategically positioned, so Ruff can lift a barracks into the location properly to prevent against any sort of shenanigans that RGNPerfect might be trying to pull off. But no, it does actually look like there is a bunker there instead, which is absolutely fine, because bunkers, in the early game at least, can stop Protoss in their tracks. We do have Marine scouting around here, checking for no kind of rubbish that is happening from Perfect, like proxy pylons or anything like that. But we do have an expansion from Perfect, so he is doing everything at the moment but proxying his opponent. I mean, I'm not entirely sure that's actually even be scouted by Ruff. No, Ruff doesn't actually know where his opponent is at the moment. In fact, neither of these players do. Neither of them have scouted each other at all, which is kind of unusual for high level play. I won't lie, but both of them look like they're going to be going for scouting the cross positions first of all. Yes, they are. They're both scouting the cross positions, position as opposed to each other first of all, just to make sure that the players aren't really far away. I suppose this is quicker by air on Shakuras Plateau, but I will have to do some testing, I guess, to actually determine which is quicker, ground or air, in this kind of setup that we are in at the moment. And we do also have what seems to be a kind of a wild-esque build coming from Ruff as well, using the Tech Lab, of course, to get the Marauders, which are very, very effective against Protoss, especially effective against these guys, the Humble Zealots, who run like races, by the way, in case you guys were wondering. And they have a robotics facility as well, good for making units like Immortals, which, by the way, can actually crush Marauders quite quick. They're very good against sorry guys, I'm just going to really quickly turn my game sound down quite heavily, because it's very loud, I've just decided. Okay, we're all good. Okay, awesome. Cool, so we do have more Marines obviously on the way out for Ruff at the moment too. Yeah. Okay, and we have Stalker trying to come up the ramp and then deciding, whoa, fuck that, I don't want to lose my life just yet. He is happy working for Aya. That's right, he's working for a whole community and planet. But no, he's decided to pull back. He's just going to go have a look at the Funky Tower instead. He is in love with that tower. Oh, the tower and the Stalker have such a beautiful relationship together. I am going on a massive, massive tangent. Amazing. And by the way, I'm really sorry if the last 3 casts, my audio levels were really loud. The truth is, I've done all of those last 3 casts, or the casts, let's say, around this one. I don't know in which order I'm going to put them up, in one sitting, and I've only just decided that my sound levels are probably a little bit high, which is unfortunate. I'm really, really sorry if it turns out bad like that for you guys. But I hope it doesn't. Reason being, I'm having to go away for a little while, and I want to be able to get enough content for you guys to watch, to keep the ball rolling on what I'm trying to do here with bringing esports to the UK. And also we are looking into getting a press pass for a professional level tournament as well. Okay, so it does look like over here we do have the medevac. Might be dropping down here in order to assist the scouting factory's plight against stalkers and sentries. And we do have, oh, very nice tactics indeed here. We have a drop up here on the high ground from vVvRuFF. It does actually look like he's going to be running into the middle line and actually taking out quite a lot of probes at the moment. Not actually worrying too badly about the Zealots or anything like that. Letting the Zealots and Stalkers feast on the Marines up there instead of focusing on running away from them. This is very, very good micro indeed, very good control from RGNPerfect as it is, and this drop is going an awfully long way. It has to be said, he's killing a lot of drones, doing a lot of economic damage very, very early on in the game, which of course is a very bad thing indeed if you are our Protoss players. Unfortunately, it does look like this drop will get completely cleared up, but that was well worth its weight in gold. That was an excellent drop. Really good. And here we have RGNPerfect perhaps moving out, thinking that maybe his opponent kind of overextended himself a little bit there. But of course, the Protoss player doesn't have to worry too much about how many probes he just lost, as essentially that chrono boost on the Nexus, the ability that speeds up building time, really, really, really helps, like, so much. And we have the immovable object going down in way of a bunker here, but will it be immovable enough? This is quite a large Protoss army heading in here from RGNPerfect. If I was RGNPerfect, I'd be pretty worried right now. If we had some really creative use of force fields, then we could see this Terran army in quite a lot of trouble, but the sentries in the Protoss army getting killed very, very quickly indeed, but more sentries on the way here from Perfect as well. At this point in time, Perfect could actually force field this ramp and have his way with the command center, perhaps. There goes the bunker down as well. This is a true kind of death push coming out here from RGNPerfect at the moment. This is a very, very dangerous push indeed, and RGNPerfect here really hammering out some SCVs as well, and if the Stalkers aren't careful, they'll back themselves into a corner, and that can be very, very painful things for Stalkers indeed. But we do have more reinforcing Zealots coming here from behind, and almost trapping the Marines in between the Stalkers and Zealots. And here we do have a really, really big problem for vVvRuFF. That problem is that he could actually be losing the game, and it does look like we're going to have perhaps an all-in. Yes, we're going to have an all-in, perhaps even a base race from vVvRuFF. I honestly didn't know this was going to happen in this game. I just kind of picked this game at random. I thought it'd be interesting. Two players that I haven't actually cast before, and here we go. We do have an all-in attack from our Terran player right now, and this does look like it's going to be a very, very narrow base race scenario. Of course, our Terran player does have the scouting factory as well, which he can just hide in the corner of a map. But the question is, will this be enough forces to take out what Perfect actually has? I mean, granted that we do have medevacs here from RGNPerfect as well, which of course increases the effectiveness of the Terran army very, very nicely indeed. Here we do have the Terran using his flying buildings to his fullest, biggest advantage he possibly can. And I'm genuinely really interested to see how this game actually turns out at the moment. An unusual situation as Perfect force field somebody inside his own base, which you don't see all that often in the world of StarCraft 2. And here we go, we do have a attack coming in here from Perfect, and it'll be really interesting to see what happens here. I just get the feeling that Perfect needs to focus down these medevacs somewhat, because they are something that will definitely keep Ruff in the game very quickly indeed. Okay, so here we go, we do have the mobility for Ruff coming back as well. And I mean, he could actually pull this back somewhat. Both players still having a pretty decent mining base going, and a really kind of crazy dynamic game sort of going on at the moment here. Marines and medevacs grouping up here and coming back into. Unfortunately, there are virtually no SCVs left, but you know what's better than SCVs? Loads and loads of mules. Of course, from one command center, or maybe I think that's actually 2 command centers worth of mules, and that will give him possibly enough minerals to actually go and win the game, but it needs to be seen yet. We do see Perfect scouting around the map for other expansions right now, and of course you would do, because your opponent has basically just all in you, and you have more probes, but mules are very good mining units indeed. The scouting factory does actually look like it's going to go down. All of the most of the buildings even. Oh, sorry, there's a little bit of chat going on there, I think. Yeah, I think someone's stream broke. Ouch. Okay, so most of the power is back on in the base at the moment as well. We do have a push coming here from Ruff, and if he's not careful, this will get cleared up pretty quickly. He needs to be very careful on the force fields as well. It does look like these medevacs are going to go down quite quickly as well, and it looks like it could actually be a kind of a wasted attack from Ruff, squandering his really useful medevacs that he needs in order to survive this game. At the moment, it looks like Ruff may have done an all-in too many earlier on, and now RGNPerfect is actually just going to be able to absolutely overwhelm his opponent, even though his opponent has about 1,400 minerals. Here is Ruff going, watch it. I'm not sure in what context, because unfortunately in text you can't actually see what context people mean things in, what tone they say things in. We do have some Marine attacking Perfect space at the moment. And these units here are actually going to come in and set them. Here we go, we do have another kind of all-in-y scenario from Ruff, who is getting the Stalkers out of his base. He does not want those Stalkers in his base anymore. This attack being cleared up by Perfect's small army pretty damn quickly as well. And here we have Ruff chasing down some Stalkers as well, using the force fields to trap 2 Marines out of the base. I think the idea was actually to trap them inside the base, all of the Marines, and to that extent he has done very well indeed. Here we have the economy from Ruff kind of coming back slowly but surely. I'm not sure how much longer he is actually going to be able to hold out here, as medevacs really do actually, well, medevacs really give a Terran army its longevity. This isn't the best kind of position. Oh, really nice force fields here, but unfortunately some Zealots just stuck in the middle a little bit there, not actually being able to do their fullest amount of DPS. It does look like perhaps Ruff will actually clean this up. Maybe. Ooh, it's going to be a close one. There's Ruff with a little shocked face. Absolutely, this is a really tooth and nail kind of game. Excellent, really good fun to be watching. We do have a lot of Marines on the way for Ruff right now. He does actually need to get probably another medvac, another medvac out. Oh my goodness. Okay, I mean, people say that Terran on 2 base is ridiculous, but hey, at the moment we are proving that Terran on 1 base is ridiculous. RGNPerfect, I don't understand, neither do I, how the Marine is still unnerved. Well, I don't know. I think the Marine is actually a very, very even unit. Yes, they do a lot of damage in clumps, but there are so many units that counter them. You've got your Colossus, you've got your Siege Tank, you've got your Ultralisk. Sure, they're all tier 3, but if you've got enough Marines to really do loads and loads of damage, then you're going to be in the late game anyway, in most cases. What I think RGNPerfect may be referring to is actually the Medvac and Marine usage together, and how that can really extend a Terran's play if not regulated properly by the enemy player. We do have a drop coming in here from vVvRuFF, and it does look like it'll be targeting the opponent of the Terran player as well. If that Medvac is not careful, it will go down with some Marines inside, but luckily all the Marines get out in time. Unfortunately, we're going on here, trapping quite a lot of Marines to face their Depth Zealots, which strictly run away after being trapped. And we have Marines coming down here and harassing quite a lot of our Protoss' units at the moment. Also, we have more units mining down here as well for vVvRuFF, and the drop didn't fail as such, but definitely went off to a different place too. Whew. Whew. This is a fairly tooth and nail game, really. I'm honestly not entirely sure who's going to win at this point. I mean, at some points it should be fairly obvious that the Protoss is going to win, but the Medivacs really can give a Terran an edge like no other. And in that sense, it's a very good matchup, actually. Here we do have the Marines absolutely mullering a Pylon. You dead, Pylon. And they could very well be going out to reinforce with their other Terran brethren in order to try and take down the Protoss forces. Brethren is a really cool word, actually. I really like that. Brethren. Makes me think of bread for some reason. Brethren. Yo, brethren, what's up? Yeah, fresh. Okay, so this attack will be scouted by RGNPerfect with some really, really nice force fields. He could get in front of this ramp, but I'm not sure if he has enough. If he really has enough Zealots to actually be able to make a difference here. I mean, something else that you have to remember is Perfect does actually only have no weapons upgrades at all, whereas RUFF has one weapons upgrade as well. Now here we do have Perfect's army caught quite badly out of position, as these Marines do look like they're going to go and cause quite a stir around the base of RGNPerfect at the moment. And this leads to a very, very dangerous situation indeed. And here we see the fantastic mobility of the Terran army being put to really, really good use by RUFF, quite effectively actually. It looks like his other base has been up and ready to go as well, and at this point, you know, we might actually see our Terran player starting to overtake our Protoss' player very, very quickly in terms of how many units he has, how effective his units are being. I mean, that has been true all along in this game because, of course, we have had the Medivacs healing and the top cover as well, and weapons +1. Also, it does look like this game is going to kind of go along in very much the same formula that we have seen before, i.e. gateway units versus Marines. It's a very close match indeed. There's a kind of a stalemate reached between players, but you have to wonder who is going to win, and at this rate, my money is on RUFF just for the sheer amount of DPS he has here. And a scan dropping down here as well from RGNPerfect too, and here he goes stimming up the ramp. Will RUFF be quick enough? No! Sorry, Perfect, it's not quick enough in order to get those force fields down, and unfortunately this Terran army will do a massive amount of damage. A really, really huge amount of damage. We do have Perfect throwing in quite a lot of probes there as well, trying to take out a lot of those Marines, but it doesn't look like it will quite be enough. Unfortunately, yeah, nice raid, says RGNPerfect. Clearly feeling a little bit bitter. Oh, you're still a bad player, he says. Ouch. Ooh, words with venom there, loaded words. Unfortunately, RGNPerfect, that stank. Your play wasn't bad. I really liked your play. It was really good. I totally agree with you. It was just unfortunate the way that RUFF managed to handle the situation that was going to him. And I mean, the Stim Marines with Medvac top cover can be very, very hard to deal with. As Protoss in the early game, you have to be very on top of your force fields, as well as everything else. Also, of course, Terran can lift off their buildings, making the base race option far less viable as well, and Marines do a hell of a lot of DPS. The only real downside to Marines is that they are a light unit. They're biologicals, they burn really easily against Colossus and Psystorms and all that good stuff. I mean, really, it might have been kind of a better idea for Perfect while he had the upper hand to maybe get a High Templar or two out. It might not have even mattered if he had Psystorm, it's just he needed to do something about these medevacs, like feedback them, for example, when they have more energy, and taking them out almost instantly. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day, have fun playing StarCraft, and as always, I'll talk to you next time. Okay, thanks a lot, guys. Have a nice day, and all that good stuff. Goodbye!